Hi everybody, this is Joe Jurek and welcome back to Real Estate Investing Adventures, or REIA.fun. Why? Because real estate investing can be an adventure and it always is a lot of fun. Well, what am I going to talk about in today's episode? I'm going to talk about doing real estate deals. How do we go ahead and make the offer? Anytime you make an offer in real estate, one of three things is normally always going to happen. The seller has the right to accept your offer in its entirety by not changing anything. Whatever the offer to purchase, the written offer to purchase reflects, they accept in the entirety. They sign it. At that point, when they sign our written offer, we've said to lock up that deal. By locking up that deal, even if their neighbor comes by later in the day and says, "Hey, I see your house for sale. Did you get an offer yet? I might have an interest." If they've signed your offer and you have a copy of that, you've locked it up. And if that neighbor has an interest, guess who they got to talk to? You, right? They would have to negotiate with you because you have a controlling interest. So the one thing a seller can do when you make an offer is accept the offer. The other thing they could do is just reject the offer. No, they're asking $250. You offered $200,000 for the house. They just flat out reject your offer. That's okay. It's a rejection. The last thing they could do is a counter offer. Maybe we offered $200,000 and they were asking $250. They could always counter us at, say, $235. We can accept that counter or we can reject that counter and recounter them again. So the three things a seller can do when you make an offer: they can accept, they could reject, or they could go ahead and counter. Now, here's a golden nugget tip that I want to share with you. So I hope you got your pen. You ready for this one? If they don't accept your offer, always ask for a counter offer. Whether you're dealing with them directly with a for sale by owner, or if your realtor's dealing with them, have the realtor ask for a counter in the event they reject your offer. At least you'll know where they're at or where their mindset might be. If they're asking $250 and they don't counter you and then they come back at a counter of $249, you know they're not too motivated. But maybe you offer $200, they're asking $250, they think you're too far apart. But if they did come back to you and they did counter, say at maybe $230, maybe they're motivated. Would that be an indication? Absolutely. Often people tell me, "I can't find deals through realtors. There's a lot of properties out there listed, and based on the listing price, there's no deals." What do I want to stress to all of you out there? Great deals are created by the offer you make. Did you hear that? Great deals are created by the offer you make. And I often tell people, I'll say, "Joe, how did you get that great deal? What'd you do? How did you find it? What's your secret?" And I go, "I made an offer." They go, "What?" "I made an offer." That's all I did. I created the deal by the offer I made. So can you also create a deal by making a well-calculated, aggressive offer? You absolutely can. Now, here's the other thing when you're calculating your offer, what I want to tell you. There's two things that people often do that maybe they miscalculate their offer. The number one thing they might do is use the wrong after repaired value based on comparables. Now, can the realtor help you do comps or comparables? The realtor can absolutely help you for that for free. They don't even charge anything. How cool is that? So by going to the realtor and asking the realtor to give you at least 3 comparables, that can help us determine value. If you use a value too low, your offer is probably going to come out too low. Unfortunately, if you use a value too high, you may get the deal, but it may not turn out to be a good deal because you overvalued. Let's take an example. What if a home has an after repaired value based on comparables at $300,000? If you're doing your calculations and only using $270, your offer is probably going to come out way too low. If you have wrong information and you're not using sold properties, that would be sold comparables, maybe you're erroneously using active properties. Is that a good comparable? No, because we don't know what it's going to sell for. So maybe you see other homes listed for $350 and you think, well, I'll use $350, and maybe that number could be way high. If you use that number, could you be offering way too much? Absolutely, you could be. So the one thing is, you want to have very good comparables. You want to understand what the value could be fixed up. So what do we mean? In a property's current condition, maybe it's dirty, nasty, stinky, crusty. Woo! We've all been in properties like that, right? Maybe in its current crusty condition, it's not worth as much, but it's in a great neighborhood, great location, great area. And you realize if that house gets fixed up and it's a nice, shiny, pretty condition, what would the value be, or could the value be? That's ARV, after repaired value. Now, the second thing that most investors sometimes struggle with is repair costs. And what I want to tell you with repair costs is you have to be in the ballpark. You don't have to be to the exact penny. In regards to repair costs, if you're way too high on repair costs, unfortunately, your offer is going to come in way too low. If you're way too low in estimating your repair cost, your offer is going to be too high. So we can't be too high, too low. We got to be kind of just right there in the middle. You have to be in the ballpark, but not to the penny. So what I would say with repair costs, wherever you need help with that, and in other videos we do talk about that, you need to make sure the repair cost is in the ballpark and somewhat accurate. And don't forget another golden nugget tip. If you're looking for the property for a potential rental rather than a buy, fix, and flip, you're going to do a lot less repair and renovation. If it's a rental and the bathroom and the kitchen are a little dated, but they're clean and functionable, you're going to leave them. But if it's a buy, fix, and flip, and you got that pink bathroom and the dated kitchen with the, butcher block countertop and the yellow appliances, we all know those, right? You're going to have to replace that for a flip, because if you want top dollar, it's going to have to reflect nice, pretty, current, updated condition. So when you go through these properties and you're preparing to make the offer, you really have to know three things. And let's recap. Number one, what do you have to know? What is a good after repaired value based on comparables? And hopefully you're going to have three comparables that are no more than 3 months old, okay? Like bread or milk, the newer, the fresher, the better, right? So a comparable that's only a month old is going to be a lot better than a comparable that's 6 months old. So newer, fresher, better. Number two, you have to make sure you appropriately add up what your renovation costs are going to be. Whether you call it renovation, rehab, remodeling, whatever you might call it, make sure you know your renovation costs. Third, you have to know what you're trying to make profit. And if you're trying to do the deal with another buyer or partner, what are they trying to make? So if you know ARV, you know repair costs, and you know the profit you're trying to make, can you make an offer? Absolutely you can. You want to calculate your offer and get to a point where you arrive at your maximum offer, what you think you can do. Now, should you offer the maximum in the beginning? It depends on what you want to do. In a very fast-moving market, I always come in with my best offer first. In a slower market, could we come in a little bit lower than our best offer? Absolutely we can. And what would we do? When we counter offer, we'd go up from that point. So when you're looking at making offers, you need to know and understand a few things. Number one, what are true and accurate comparables in the area? And number two, did I go through the interior and exterior of that property and truly identify what would need to be done? Once I identify it, what would that cost? And that cost is going to impact my offer and what I offer. Lastly, what I want to share with you is another golden nugget tip I hope your bags are getting filled up with those little golden nuggets. But the tip is this, okay? If somebody does not counter you, make sure you ask for a counter. And even if they say no today to your offer or they don't counter you, I would like you to offer next month and the month after and the month after that and the month after that. Keep on offering on that property every month. Now, will it work where eventually they take it? They may not. Have I had deals where they've taken it after the 6th month or the 8th month of offering? I have. And what did I say? It was being persistent again. Real estate is a lot about being persistent, not giving up. And like I've often said, living in Central Florida, the attractions have often taught me how to be patient when I'm waiting in those long attraction lines at the theme parks. Patience, patience, patience. So what's important tip again in real estate? Having patience. And for those of you with kids, you know what I mean, right? But in any event, I hope you've had fun with this video. I hope you've learned some things about making offers. I hope you have a better idea and maybe a strategy going forward with how to make an offer, counter offer, what goes into the offer, what can impact the offer, positive or negative. Why are your offers not being accepted? Maybe they're too low, or maybe you're just calculating them incorrectly. But work on making offers. The more you do, the better you'll get at it. So I want to tell you, live life in the moment with no regrets. Enjoy your real estate investing adventure and always have fun with it. So until next time, have a great day. Believe and achieve. Bye-bye.